Welcome back to the Bejeweled Podcast, the podcast that sees every year a brand new year for rejuvenation. I'm Joel, I'm the Operative 121, and thanks to a friend of mine, I'm a witness to having the witness.
And I'm Jaiozak, and I probably picked the worst color shirt to be wearing, considering what my, the top sheet of my bed is. I just kind of blend in.
Welcome to podcast number 37, man. And of course, the very first one of the year of 2026. Feels nice to be back. But more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, has a big announcement incoming. More podcasts for 2026 because I ain't streaming as many games as I used to now.
Yeah, we're gonna be trying to do this at least a little more frequently.
And at least get out more of our opinions and potentially more rants as we talk about the world of gaming and its ever-changing climate. Anyways, if you're halfway on the podcast, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our content if you are new, follow me, and of course Jaiozak's handles, as you can see right there. And of course, ring that bell. You're gonna find any time I upload. I know I upload not as much, but at least I do upload, right? Last podcast on the card. Up here, which, fun fact, by the time that you guys are getting the stream version of this podcast, I have yet to upload the other one.
Oh.
Shows how much I've been very busy. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, Jaiozak, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright. This one is gonna be heavy. And no, I don't mean the clothes that you're wearing, Jaiozak. I know it's freezing there. As is the background, I just realized. Fitting.
You mean the background?
Yeah. No, on my game, not your background.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about? It's just... I mean...
Yes, your beautiful background of your basement.
Yeah, or just my bedroom, because my bedroom...
yeah.
It's not in the basement, it's actually on the main level of the house.
Oh, there you go. Alright.
Technicalities.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, think about how we started. Like, remember, like, the first podcast was back in your other house, if I'm not mistaken, right?
The start of the podcast? No,
yeah.
It was back there, on that side of the room.
Oh! So you were like me, actually, because I used to, when I did my first streams, when I did my first stuff, that was also on the other side of the living room.
Okay.
So yeah, you and I both on that one.
Nice.
But you and I probably not both on what our view is of open worlds, which is why I want to discuss it. It kind of just came out of the blue, but in the midst of the revival of Dream's Minecraft Manhunt series, if for those who don't know, I realized to myself that the world of open worlds, it's not necessarily always friendly. You want a better understanding of that, Jaiozak?
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, it's, kind of considering what you messaged me, before.
So, the world of open worlds is simple. You have, Final Fantasy XIV, you have Minecraft, one of the most popular ones, you have Roblox, which of course has recently gained controversy, and then you also have some other open ones I'm not thinking of, potentially maybe Hytale, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Hytale, like, just recently. I don't think it was a fully official release, it was more so just like a... it's like an open beta.
Open beta? Oh, okay. Actually, that makes sense.
Yeah, if I've heard correctly. I could be mistaken.
I feel like you and, fun fact, one of my students would know better because I actually made a lesson about games and linking to mathematics. And one of the people who mentioned their favorite game was Hytale. And I was just like, must be recent. And as I've seen from shorts and videos on YouTube, looks like it is. With that said, the big gist of this conversation is actually relating to how I've realized that open world games are not necessarily the best way to find a good community. Now, the reason I say that is that when you think of open world, there's a reason why they're called open worlds. It's a sandbox type of interaction where you're kind of just allowed to do anything you want. You can make up your own games, you can make up your own mechanics, you can make communities and like work together to get towards the main purpose of the game itself. But it's not always that you have to like pursue that purpose. You have that freedom to do whatever you want, and we've seen it over the years, especially with Minecraft being the genesis of it, that people are very creative. They're able to create like such new concepts almost every single, almost month, to be honest. Like 1 minute we've been excited about Minecraft Manhunts from Dream. The next minute we are so enamored by the community who has been doing incredible shorts. If I can remember that community, Wally Bear, Cheap Pickle, Ali, and many others. But here's where I draw the line. With so many of these kind of communities, isn't there, to an extent, a bit of discord that might happen between like parties that may have differing ideas on what they view of the same game?
Yeah, I mean, when a game, like, over time ostensibly becomes almost like a platform for other games, yeah, even for, like, Minecraft, it's going to start to, like, yeah, cause, like, splits or divides in the community as to, like, what people even, like, view the game itself as. Yeah.
So to extend on that matter, I can think of like sometimes when I look at like some people who like view Minecraft Manhunt, for example. I mean, the positives are it's thrilling. It gives us a sense of like, wow, what you really can do in Minecraft that might be people can think of in terms of the creativity and the genius when it comes to making traps, when it comes to making like different strategies to like, you know, attack opponents. But at the same time, when you look at the negative comments, it's like, oh, this is fake. They probably did some like dumb mod to ensure this happens. And it's just quite bad, honestly, just to see that. And I will not put it behind me that they are from other Minecraft communities that prefer other types of Minecraft games, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, in the case of that specifically, I mean, that feels like it more so just comes down to the fact that, like, that Minecraft Manhunt is almost, like, more akin to, like borderline, maybe, like, I don't know, a reality show in terms of, like, production.
No, I can see that.
Yeah, and so it's like, with a reality show or game show, like, especially if it's something that isn't on, like, quote-unquote proper broadcast, like on cable TV, there is, sure, the possibility of something like that, like, being faked in some way, or some details being, like, stretched or whatever. If you're doing, like, a game show or a reality show on, like, actual cable TV, at least here in the States, there's laws and regulations and whatever put in place to where anything like that on cable TV is basically you can't, like, fake or rig outcomes of stuff like that. And it starting to go on the first tangent of this episode. It goes back to an old trivia show. I think it was called 21, where the producers almost started to just, like, artificially create just this untouchable, invincible running champion, because he was just being given the answers, like, in real time. The way that it worked is that both competitors were in separate booths, both wearing headphones, and so the person that was being fed the answers is just being piped in through the headphones. Producer, whatever, had a microphone in the back, and because of that, there were laws put in place, or regulations, whatever, to where you can't do that, otherwise your production will be fined. But yeah, that side tangent.
I mean, so basically, to prevent companies being able to put up facades.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That being said, I don't believe those same laws or regulations are like applied to purely, like, independently run things like YouTube series, because I think, like, because they're doing it independently and not through, like, a big, like, broadcaster, they can just kind of do whatever they want. So because of that, sure, there's the possibility of some level of trickery going on, but
So it's almost like it's funny because this week particular, my mom has been showed me like Lingo, a game show that was recently came out, and there was one particular pair. If we wondering, Lingo is very similar to Wordle.
So, sorry, when you said Lingo, it's like, oh, I watched that on the Game Show Network here in the States as a kid, like, in the 2000s.
I think it's
been
similar.
a thing. It's been a thing for decades.
Yeah, but here's the thing. As of recently, there was some episodes that came out where one particular pair of girls managed to win like 3 episodes in total, and I think they won like more than $250,000.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Oh yeah, no. Recently, then we saw the episode they got knocked out, but still. But even then, it's like with Wordle, it's like, okay, that kind of it's a fair, but then again, you still always have those with that tinfoil hat saying it's rigged.
Yeah.
You just can't win.
Right, and I guess that's why maybe, like, ever since Jeopardy here in the States, like, every so often you get, like, a reigning champion that just keeps winning, like, game after game after game, and they win, like, 30 games in a row and earn, like, $2 million. That's happened several times at this point. I almost wonder if maybe there's some people that used to watch Jeopardy, like, decades ago, but now don't really watch it as much. For those who don't know, Jeopardy is ostensibly just a straight-up trivia game, like Buzz-in Trivia, except the questions are phrased like clues, and instead of giving just the direct answer, you have to say, like,
A question.
what is... Yeah, phrase your answer in the form of a question. Other than that, it's just a straightforward trivia show. So that format of Jeopardy was, if I recall correctly, a direct result of the whole, like, scandal with 21 about the contestants being fed the answers. Or that contestant being fed answers. So they made a whole show where technically the contestants are being fed the answers, but they have to come up with the questions.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That's actually quite funny.
Yes.
That is hilarious.
But, yeah, it's... I feel like that's just been a thing with game shows for the entire time that game shows have been a thing is people like thinking, oh, this thing, like this aspect was rigged or scripted or whatever, but more often than not, I mean, just completely like personal opinion, I don't think that kind of stuff is rigged, even with more independent stuff that's on just people's YouTube channels, because something that is like completely unscripted is gonna give you just a better end product than trying to like force a scripted outcome, basically. And with a lot of stuff, it's hard to actually like pre-plan an outcome like that.
That's very true.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, I don't know. I think another thing, maybe potentially, the reason why I see this negativity is also because of the case of there will always be people who will question, like they like to judge and think they're better. Well, that's sadly the reality we're living in with the internet.
Yeah.
And I just heard my mom at the background say that's just a human nature. Very true, Mom.
Yeah, I mean, it's not unreasonable for people to think like, oh, that's just to be like questioning things. I think yeah, at the same time, like it like I said, something that is pre-planned, pre-scripted like that, more often than not, is not going to give as good of a final product as something that is quote-unquote pure in terms of like some sort of like competition.
Yeah. The reactions are more genuine. You can really see. I mean, it's the same thing with golf, especially when you think of, let's say, sports, I should say. Especially with golf, you think of last year when Rory McIlroy finally got his Grand Slam after 11 attempts, the most number of attempts that someone went to finally get his Grand Slam of 4 majors.
Yeah.
You don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, you are kind of familiar with the U.S. Open in golf or any kind of sport?
In terms of golf, the only, like, I don't actually keep up with any sports.
Understandably.
Yeah. Funny that you mentioned specifically golf. I have a cousin who is actually a professional golfer.
Oh, excuse me? Your brother? Oh, your cousin, sorry.
Yeah, cousin. On my dad's side. So.
How old is he? Just curious.
How old is he?
Yeah.
Older than me. I think, like... Shoot, how much older is he? I would say, like, 5 to 10 years older than me.
So around his 30s?
Yeah, either, like, late 20s or into his 30s.
That's quite cool. But yeah, no, the 4 majors in golf are the US Open, the British Open, the Masters, which was the one that Rory won last year, and the PGA Championship. So, like, literally just a championship, like, you could think of it as the World Championship to an extent. Rory had 3 of those 4 majors, which excluded the Masters, by 14, sorry. So 2015 was his first attempt at the Grand Slam, which was all 4 majors, and it took him 11 attempts, so until last year to finally snag it.
Okay.
And when you see the outpouring of emotion from him, you know it's genuine. You see how much effort he put in, the amount of turmoil his brain probably went through, like thinking, when is his time? In his own words, when was his time? That kind of reality, that kind of non-scripted stuff, it's just pure excitement to see, and it does lend itself to like great TV, as you mentioned. And it's just sad knowing that in like in this kind of context with Minecraft reality style thing, it you can't get that same sense all the time.
Right. Yeah, especially in that case of, like, you tried it at the same thing over and over again, and then finally, like, breaking through that, like, barrier. Yeah, only something, unscripted, unplanned, that's the only way that you're really gonna be able to get, like, any sort of genuine, reaction and response from someone like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that admittedly is also another reason probably why we see that kind of stuff. And as I mentioned, it's just human nature sometimes that people just like to judge and be better.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah, and
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think with just in general, like, I do think it's a good idea for more people to be inquisitive and curious about things, partly because I feel like not enough people are, like, really curious just in general these days about even just mundane things of, like, how does this thing work, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I think it's, yeah, not a bad thing for people to be inquisitive and, like, questioning certain things like that, but, it's, sometimes with situations like that, it's, I don't know what the best way to phrase it is, but maybe sometimes people are just, like, trying to think and look too hard into something, when it's
basically
really
taking
just
things
kind
too
of,
seriously.
yeah.
Anyways, back to the point. I mean, I just gave one example with Minecraft Manhunt. The reason why I kind of wanted to dive in a bit more into that is because, as you mentioned, very close to reality. When you look at, like, some other servers, like, you know, oh yes, Pixelmon. One very popular series that, like, you know, people have, like, cling on to, like, you know, they want a pixel version of Pokemon and they want an open world as well. Well, there you go. The sad thing about that, though, is that sometimes things kind of go a bit overboard with the hate. And then when Pokemon Quest came out, if I remember correctly, there was so many people being, like, you know, Pixelmon-esque and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like, in that case, yeah, people just, like, taking, like, something that, I had a whole train of thought there, and it just left.
Take something that's familiar.
Whoa. Yeah, just, like, taking something like Minecraft and, like, taking mods like Pixelmon and, like, really turning it into, like, more of like a unique experience for that person or that group individually, to where, like, I don't know, maybe it, like, throws them for a loop to basically see, like, that, like, more niche thing that they were interacting with in more of, like, a mainstream environment. I don't know. I feel like I don't know where I was trying to go with that.
No, I see what you mean. Taking something that's familiar, like, in both senses, and allowing both parties to enjoy, like, you know, like the product, basically, so you have, like, better audience.
Yeah.
All right, I could cut it, finish up the slack.
Yeah.
It's 10 p.m. for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, this is also just kind of, like, feels like a little bit more of, like, a, I don't know, amorphous topic, that it's just like,
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, you will have those who love it, and you will definitely have those who hate it. Because, Pokemon and being a more of a kiddish RPG compared to other RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not to, absolutely denounce Pokemon like that, but you gotta admit, in terms of playability, it's more for the kids compared to, Final Fantasy or any other Japanese RPG out there.
Yeah, I mean, not mentioning, how all the, characters that you use in Pokemon battles are cute, iconic creatures, but it is probably one of, the more just approachable JRPGs out there, and yeah, it has to be with how so much of the player base are younger kids, and that's even kind of reflected in, the main playable characters, at least in, certain generations, how they're more, preteen age or younger. So, so, I guess, going back to the main topic, when I was reading what specifically you said, where my brain went was, specifically in terms of, Minecraft, and, you said there really is no must-do way to play these games. It makes me think of the difference in even just style of within Minecraft survival, of how you go about making the layout of your home base and everything. There's people who will spend hours making just the most beautiful castle or cottage or whatever with all bunch of different flourishes. When I play Minecraft survival, more often than not, I like to just carve into either the ground or into the side of a cliff face, and that's my base.
I see where this is going, and honestly, I can't disagree. Especially when you see, this one Circle Tunes short I saw that is absolutely hilarious, when he and, who is it, Garrett the Carrot, were portrayed together as making, starting out a new Minecraft seed, and they were trying to make a house, and then unfortunately they both have differing views of how to make the house, and so therefore it ends up being a huge mess. And then the end of it, one of them says, I hate it. The other person says, I only hate half of it.
Yeah, it's yeah, I've noticed it's just something about the way that I specifically like to play Minecraft is just more utilitarian in terms of how I design my bases and just my general approach with Minecraft. It's it's more I don't know, old school and straightforward. Whatever the heck those mean. I've just been playing casually on and off since getting Minecraft, when I believe it was still only available on PC back in 2011.
Yeah.
So
I can see where this is going.
Yeah, just a lot of that sort of mindset or whatever has just, for me at least, perpetuated how I've approached playing that game, even to this day. I have a personal Minecraft world on the Switch, and I kid you not, it is a hybrid of my base is a hybrid of just carving into the ground, and then part of it is just a rectangular house that is just wooden planks and glass. And then just a basic, like, farm with animals in the backyard, quote unquote. And then to be able to better find my way if I decide to venture away from my base, I have like just a pillar of, I think it's just dirt blocks. just as high into the sky as I could.
You know, on the same basis of that, I could agree with that sentiment, because when I finally beat Minecraft for the very first time, I played it on normal difficulty with keep inventory on.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I didn't really care too much, because I was like, I know people that say, oh, there's a genuine way to play. I was like, you know what, I'll play it my way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guarantee you right now, there's probably, not every single person who has beaten Minecraft probably beat it the same way.
Yeah, and that's, I think, like, part of the core, I don't know, impetus, or just core, like, issue is that with a game that is so, like, open and free and offers so much to the players, each individual person, more often than not, is going to have their own unique experience with that game that to hear someone else who plays it differently or does things differently, it's going to just feel strange to them, basically. Yeah. Because, like, yeah, even though I'm more of just like a casual Minecraft player, I don't think I've ever used keep inventory. I do like to play it relatively straight if I'm going down and, like, mining in the caves, because I feel like having that what's the word, just the that looming risk of if I die in this cave, then everything I've collected is just gone, basically. That's always kind of been part of Minecraft for me, so, like, it would feel weird to know, like, oh, I'm lost in a cave? Well, I'll just jump into the lava and I'll spawn back in the house. That feels like it, for me at least, it takes away part of the game, but for someone who is newer to the game, even if they're not newer, they just prefer to play with keep inventory, that is completely their own prerogative, but at the same time, it does, like, cause that sort of, like, almost cultural divide in how people play an open world game like that. Yeah. If that all makes sense.
No, it does, and it actually really is just the basis of why I wanted to make this conversation. It just sucks. And I really wish there was a way that, you know, such communities could really bond, but it really isn't. Because there will always be a different sense of opinion. There will always be a different sense of, oh, I want to play this game that way or this way. It just sucks. And it really hardens my heart, burdens me knowing that this kind of discord will always be prevalent in such open world games.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there's always going to be people that will only ever think that the way that they play is the only correct way, and seeing someone else play and enjoy the game differently is just going to, want them to just, like, go after that person for not enjoying the game the same way that they do.
Welcome to Pride. Pretty much the answer to that story. And then,
now that I'm thinking of this kind of reminds me of just my experience in the past with playing, even though this isn't an open world game, Super Smash Brothers. Because, just, why do you say uh-oh?
Before Jiao goes to this story, personally, whenever I think of Smash Brothers and community, I shut down straight away because, oh my goodness, how toxic can a community get?
Yeah, that's why I just have never interacted with the broader online Smash Brothers community. It's only ever with people locally to me.
Yeah, 15-year-old boy amateur defeats one of the best in the world. Everyone is absolutely stunned and raving about it, celebrating it. Then an Isabelle comes in from a girl and defeats one of the top right player. Boo, apparently. And then she'll go into hiding. Need I say more, Smash community? You suck. Sorry, you just suck.
Yeah, the Smash community sucks in more ways than that, but I
phrasing
prefer not to get into that whole side. So
sorry, I had to.
Yeah. The thought that I was trying to get at with bringing up Smash Brothers is, growing up, I really preferred playing Smash Brothers with items turned on and playing on stages that have, like, you know, stage hazards. Whereas it seems like every person that I played with in person liked to play items off and stages with no hazards. And it's like, no wonder I started to just not enjoy playing the game, because it's like I wanted to just play locally because of mostly just like then you're not having to deal with online inconsistencies. But
you want me to buy Ultimate and I can play with you one day?
When we're like 10,000 plus miles apart from each other, it's gonna be a PowerPoint.
I mean, fair, but you get the gist of where I'm coming from when I ask that, because I also prefer to do it that way.
Yeah. It's it's why I started to just slowly over time not really enjoy the game, and I think that's why I just eventually grew to not like Smash Brothers Ultimate, is because it's like, okay, it's everyone still just likes to play the way that I don't like to play. And that being said, there have been a handful of in-person matches where I've gotten to play 5+ player Smash, some of those being full 8-player Smash matches. Those were, like, that was some of the most fun I have had with Smash Brothers, period. Just when no one is taking things seriously, because it is so chaotic and it's just like dumb fun. But most of my time with Smash Brothers has been with people that really feel like they're wanting to take it more seriously than, like, they really should. Like, none of the people that I have played Smash Brothers with locally have done any sort of serious tournament like participation whatsoever. That being said, there were some people that friends at the time that I would play Smash Brothers with. We all decided to enter a local tournament. They were people who liked to play no items, boring stages, whereas I like to play with, like, all the fun stuff on. I was the only one who actually won their match, like a single match. The rest of them lost their matches and were just immediately knocked out of the tournament. That was, like, the funniest thing to me.
Well, then. Also, voice crack. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, suffice it to say, I've also felt like a similar, just general, like, discrepancy with specifically Smash Brothers. And the people that I've played with locally.
I think I still remember back then, I was just so obsessed with randomized Nuzlocke in Pokemon as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people have asked me, why you do this yourself? Like, dude, why play this way? Well, at least at the time, of course, when I was in the Pokemon craze.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like some people in the Pokemon community are, like, almost want to just, like... They really want people to play with, like, certain parties and everything, and it's like, just... Unless if the person who is making the content is asking for input or advice, it's like, don't be so heavy-handed with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other games, because, like, that idea of, like, there being that disconnect of, like, some people like to enjoy a game a certain way, other people not so much. Maybe not, like, a direct equivalent. Funnily enough, I was thinking about this, like, earlier this week, completely unprompted, but how there is, like, a discrepancy between, specifically people who were playing local multiplayer games back in, like, the heyday of split screen, of, do you consider screen cheating or screen peeking cheating or not?
Screen cheating?
And it's like...
Screen cheating? We don't call that in Tetris, we call it screen looking.
Yeah, it's like six different names for the same thing.
Which, for those wondering, is actually valid in Tetris competitions. It's not a banned thing. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, and it's like... That... I feel like there's a more compelling case for allowing screen looking, or just not focusing on your portion of the screen, because, yeah, sure, you might gain extra information from seeing other people's screens, but there's also a chance that when you're not looking at your part of the screen, you screw something up, or if it's like GoldenEye or something, you get shot.
Yes.
And so you're gaining information, but it's almost like taking your eyes off the road. It's like, there's a chance you're gonna crash. So do you want to take that risk? Maybe literally if you're doing it in Mario Kart.
Good one.
Thanks. Yeah, if anything, it's more so funny when I see someone, like, making a stink about, oh, you were screen cheating. First of all, how do you even know that that person was screen cheating unless you were literally looking them in the eye, seeing where their eyes are pointed, and cross-referencing it with the screen? How would you know for sure?
And even then, the peripheral vision is so difficult to adjust to. Like, even the smallest amount or a lot of movement of the eye can really give you a big different perspective.
Yeah, and, like, sure, there's people that are, I mean, it's kind of like a meme within the topic of, like, taking big sheets of cardboard and taping it to the TV, so then each player can only see their portion.
What?
And it's like, oh yeah, there's, like,
what?
There's a whole genre of photos of people doing exactly that, like using cardboard to segment off the part of the screen that, quote-unquote, they're not supposed to be looking at.
Why not just wrap a jacket around your body and your whole head and tape it to the monitor?
Yeah, well, it's
another
like...
meme.
Specifically, this is like talking about multiplayer split screen on like one TV type of thing. Yeah, I have also seen like wild setups people have at like LAN parties where like, yeah, they take like a shirt and like wrap it around the monitor and like have their head in it so then only they can see it. Or like I think in like a viral video, someone taking those screen protectors for phones that only shows you the contents of the screen when you're looking at it straight on, but if you're like off axis you see nothing. Someone taking that, just layering those sorts of privacy screen protectors on the monitor.
See, that feels less extreme at least. The fact that you just have a screen protector, that's just about it.
Yeah.
Because even with regular work, that is still a legitimate thing to that people have on their laptops, just ensuring privacy from one another. Sorry,
yeah.
Wow, I slurred that so badly.
That's okay. Yeah, kind of like I was thinking about this and looking online, seeing just what people in general were thinking of, even just the topic of like screen peeking, and like there are people that will die on the hill of it is cheating and potentially you are a bad person for doing it, and others where it's like almost the polar opposite of, if you're able to screen cheat, that just means you're better at the game, and people are upset that they're not as good at the game as you. Personally, I think screen peeking when you're playing a split screen game on a single TV, I think that is valid to do, because there are sure advantages but also disadvantages to doing it. If you're at like a LAN type setup where everyone has their own display, and because of that there is like there isn't that hardware limitation of having to display multiple people's viewpoints on the same like display. In that sort of situation, yeah, I'd consider it like legitimately cheating, especially if you're in like doing it as a tournament.
I mean, welcome to the world of Tetris, where honestly, ever since 2018 when Joseph Saley made it popular, screen looking kind of was just universally allowed, because even though it doesn't really give you too much of an advantage, but it allows you to at least, have a bit of advantage in case you're behind on pieces. Because even then, you still need to execute your inputs in order to be proficient with the game.
Right. Plus, like, if like the only way that you would really be able to enforce it so then you can't screen peek the opponent, you would have to like composite the game feed in some way for like both people, so then like only your play field is visible, but it's not visible on the other player's feed. I guess I don't know exactly how like competitive Tetris is like typically.
The big screen is behind the players, so they won't be able to see it directly.
Okay.
The only thing they can do to see the opponent is just, as I said, just a screen look, like have Pika on their side. But even then, as I said before, it is allowed.
Yeah, and I mean, even, well, I guess, typically it is like the NES version of Tetris that you guys play, right? Or that is played? Okay, so yeah, in that case, like, with just standard hardware, standard TV, like, yeah, you're going to be able to see both people's feeds, so, like, or both people's play fields, so, like, unless you take extra precautions, like, it's going to be hard to enforce people to not screen peek, so why not just let them? Yeah.
Yeah, I
because
pretty much.
Yeah, because like you said, it's like you still have to manage like your own inputs, your own playfield, and like taking your eyes off of what you have control of. Like, there is that disadvantage of you're not able to see what you're doing during the time that you're looking at the other person's playfield. So there's advantages and disadvantages.
And especially on the highest levels, it's like, screen looking? Not on my 29.
Yeah, where it's just like...
Pretty much. So you're not always going to be able to screen look efficiently and get the best advantages every time. It really is just only a one-off thing where it's like, if I do get the advantage, I do get the advantage. If I don't get the advantage, whoop-de-doo.
Right.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting that we kind of like segued, the conversation of having like different ways to play open world games to different ways to play like games in general. And I mean, it all sadly really just ends up becoming the roots of one thing and one thing only, and that's just pride in your own personal opinion. And I think, opinions are like noses. Everyone has one. But the problem, I feel like, is that some people take that and add that to that prideful sense of thinking, and that's what causes them to, cause hate amongst like those who like that play differently.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing we can take away from this conversation about the open world games and the way they're playing.
Right. Yeah, it's... yeah, I think it's worth it to be, like, open-minded with that, and just, like, I guess just play styles, or, just general ideas like screen peeking of like, might be worth it to hear like, quote unquote, both sides of something like that. And yeah, like, consider if, again, I feel like I was going somewhere, but it's just kind of lost it.
Alright.
Funnily enough, today was like today I have had more caffeine than I typically have had within the past like several months. I've been pretty good with limiting my coffee intake and just caffeine intake in general, but because I knew that we were doing this tonight, it's like, okay, I do like to have some extra going into the afternoon and evening. Like, I even had specifically a Dr. Pepper when I got home, because I picked up my own dinner on the way home, and Dr. Pepper has caffeine, and it's like, it doesn't stay in my body as long, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like this is just the most spacey that I've felt in a while, but also I think it's just because I've actually been getting to bed sooner, so I think it's literally just my body being like, why are you still trying to do stuff? You should be like relaxing. So
yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, so suffice it to say, I think it's worth it to consider and challenge the view that you might have on a given like play style or just general gaming topic like that. And yeah, compare it to like what you already think, and if your viewpoint changes, then I think if anything that's like more of a sign of like maturity, that you're able to take in new information or a new viewpoint and have like your own pre-existing like thought or belief on something, and like change it if you come across like new information.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I definitely agree with that.
yeah.
And it's one thing, I mean, that was another thing about it further. It was the big reason why I wanted to make my YouTube channel. Like, besides just showcasing games I love, I wanted to also explore game franchises that I was just never exposed to. But I didn't want to be just shut out from the gaming world and just say, oh, I don't play those games, like the games I like. I wanted to at least be able to be more literate with games, and explore stuff that I never thought of be able to like share, explore. And through the experience, throughout those 5 years that I went through, my mind has been opened to like things that I never thought I would enjoy. Honestly, the story plots in Final Fantasy, the challenge, and also the cool weapons that I get to use in Mega Man. It really just allowed me to be like, hey, there's more to games than just what I play and to what I'm usually comfortable with. Once I get out of that comfort zone, I'm realizing now that I actually enjoy exploration of games like that.
Yeah, and I guess funny that you say that. In a sense, that is one of the reasons why I started doing, like, having my channel focus basically just on discussion and topics, because it felt like growing up, I almost always had, like, if not, like, a completely different view on a given gaming topic, I would have different reasoning for coming to, like, maybe the same conclusion as someone else, or just the same belief on some gaming topic. And
Brain Age, Rhythm Heaven, You Don't Know Jack, to name a few.
Yeah, and also why I mean, especially why
totally not shouting out Child 6 catalog of videos. Totally not.
Yeah. But like, especially in regards to like my RPG video, I know a lot of people have made videos about why I don't like RPGs. But they just don't like them full sale. But like, I like Mario and Luigi, Paper Mario, and basically all of the Mario RPGs, Super Mario RPG as well. But like also Bug Fables, because of the different things that they do. It's not just selecting a move from a menu and hoping that it hits. No, it only hits if you correctly time a button input. Or even just having more like nuance on a topic, like even with the video that I put out most recently about the Switch 2, like, yeah, there are things that like I like about it, but others that it's like, these do need to be addressed eventually, and just mostly in regards to like the screen and how it has some amount of ghosting, and it varies from person to person, like their tolerance or just their ability to like pick up on it. That's not gonna be as big of a factor for everyone. And I kind of purposely didn't summarize my points at the end, because I didn't want what I was saying to potentially be, I don't know, misconstrued, of just, like, summarizing everything into just one convenient thing. It's like, no, it's like, oh, this thing was really good. This thing is kind of meh. This thing should definitely be improved. Like, nuance. It's not just completely, like, black and white. So just, like, yeah, yeah.
I know, I see what you mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I feel like my brain is trying to make some, like, other point, but it's just not. I feel like I said kind of what I was thinking of just... Yeah.
No, I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from with this. It definitely... How to say this, sorry. It definitely shows that people are allowed to have opinions, but we should not, at any sort of fashion, try to put pride into any of it.
Yeah.
And sadly, even though some people run on the idea that there is such thing as a wrong opinion, sadly, I feel like even though I will confess to being a culprit of that the term wrong opinion really should be abolished.
Yeah. Yeah, in terms of, like, at bare minimum, stuff involving, like, media and stuff like that, yeah, it's... People can... Okay. Yeah, it's like... Yeah, people are gonna enjoy what they enjoy. I don't know. Sorry, I feel like I butted in there.
No, it's okay. I'll be honest. Like, I think we've really summarized what the purpose of the question that we asked at the beginning. Like, open world games, the problem with, like, discord between communities, and sadly, what it kind of stems from is potentially is like a difference of opinion and the input of pride that comes with it.
Yeah.
And that honestly perfectly sums up the point.
Mm-hmm.
And besides, Celtics Knight, who is in our server, the CGP server, likes 706. Need I say more?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, I would like to take a break if you want, because I do want to make a slight announcement that, well, quote unquote, I'm not saying you don't need to know, but it's more so something a bit separate.
Okay. I mean, I don't have to go to the bathroom. It's like a road trip. I can try.
I mean, you need water, some sort of some drink, like, because my mouth is also parched a bit.
I have
Oh,
water.
jeez,
Both of these have water.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I was not expecting not one but 2 tumblers.
Right. I don't know if my work one still has water in it. Some.
Well, there you go. Might be my condition to drink at this point.
Yeah, and you thought that I had too many Switch accessories. I have not like too many water bottles, but like I don't need more. I've just ended up amassing a small collection of them over the years.
I mean, recently I've had to, well, side tangent. I recently got like a few like drink containers myself that I was like, I'm probably not going to use them. I ended up using one of them for my supplement, my effervescent supplement in the morning when I come to school.
Nice.
So I'm finally seeing the plus side of it, which, geez, never thought I would, honestly, because every time I get a new container, it's like, probably not going to use it, but I end up I use it and it's actually useful. I don't have to actually clean my own containers that might be a little more troublesome to clean, and I can just keep it to just water.
Oh yeah, like, I, for the most part, only use water with these. Occasionally, I have used this for iced coffee, but, like, I'm pretty prompt with, like, cleaning it out when I'm done with it.
I ain't. Anyways,
And also, that's why I have this little thing just for, like, a single cup of coffee or tea.
there you go.
Yeah. In fact, I haven't actually cleaned this from work today because it still has a tea bag for Earl Grey tea. So. Anyways.
Tangents, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, then I might as well give the announcement right now. Honestly, even though I'm very aware of the situation with Bejeweled Podcast, I'm also very aware of the volatility of it, at least for this season. Now, granted, I'm not saying that we're not going to do more podcasts together, Giles Zach. It's just more so the fact that I don't think I'll be able to complete my Bejeweled journey with this way. So, I've just messaged Patrick Matrix because I have intentions to do a Bejeweled Podcast LITE. You know, the Switch LITE. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of playing off of like how you have so many accessories.
Yeah.
But my plan is like just as how like we have discussing about topics, I think Patrick and I might just start discussing on like things that he might be more familiar with, like especially with gacha games, because I know that he plays Zenless, he plays Genshin, he plays Honkai Star Rail, Umasamume, and I kind of want to actually dive into that in a bit and like hear from his side, like, you know, the woes, but also the yays as well with that. So that's why I just messaged him, and I'll see what I can do. If anything, these podcasts will be at a different time. You don't have to be there in there, Johnson, by the way, don't worry. You can have a rest.
Yeah, I figured, yeah.
And basically my plan is that I will do at least one level completion on those podcasts. And because those will probably be more often than the regular Bejeweled podcast, I should be able to make even more progress to, as you guys can see down there, level 281, which is still my goal by the end of the year, before Windows 10 says goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good idea. For one, like, kind of, you know, adds extra variety, so then it's, like, not just the two of us. There's, like, a little bit more of a rotation in the guests, because like I know you've also done some specifically with like people in the Tetris community.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, so this will be basically a light version. So expect that in the coming days or weeks, and potentially maybe this week if I have the time to set things up. I know Patrick doesn't like to show his face, so he's probably just going to be a image, but nonetheless, the purpose, the intentions, and of course, the idea behind Bejeweled Podcast LITE will still stay the same as to the regular podcast. Anyways, that's for our drink and announcement break. I can't believe we actually went into a tangent on that, but...
Yeah.
Welcome to the Bejeweled Podcast.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
Sorry. A quick, just side thing. You know how I mentioned, like, oh, you know how I have, like, too many Switch accessories? Well, another one got added to the collection here this week.
Oh.
So, like, at this point, I have the two main RDS Industries cases for the Switch 2, the basic one, and then the Deluxe Deep case. Well, I saw at my local store that they have the one that carries the entire dock setup with Pro Controller.
Oh, for crying out loud, Charles.
and a extra pair of Joy-Con and everything. So, it's like, I have the one that Turtle Beach makes, but it's like, sometimes I want the entire thing to be in its own case, and like I don't necessarily need to have access to the Switch 2 during transport. Specifically, like for this past Thanksgiving, I drove myself fully to and back, and so it's like I didn't need access to the system because I was driving. So like something like this would have been perfect. So because especially with how like sturdy and durable RDS's stuff is. So fun fact, this is like $40. The one that Nintendo sells officially that holds everything except one, like only one set of Joy-Con, theirs costs $80.
Wow.
Yeah, this is like half the price and more durable. So
cool beans, actually.
Yeah. Anyways.
Well,
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier, welcome to 2026, the very first podcast of 2026. I thought it would be fitting, since we're here in the new year, to do some goal setting / predictions. What I did was that before this podcast, I sent Jacek a list of 3 things to give me. 3 franchises that you hope to see a main game from. Now, this is with the sense of, if I talk about Sonic, I do not want to see a beat 'em up, or Mario, I do not want to see another RPG, and say I want to see a platformer for both. Yeah, I also wanted 2 franchises that he hopes to see any kind of game being released. And then the last one, a surprise prediction, like all the way prediction for 2026 in terms of gaming. But before we get into that, the first thing I want to ask is, what are your goals for gaming in terms of 2026?
In terms of specifically gaming, I've already been doing a good job with this. Not buying games just because they're on sale and they look interesting. I have not done that at all so far.
EA
because
sale on the way.
Yeah, because like it was kind of a bit of a problem. Not like excessively so, but it's like, okay, I'm buying more games than I'm playing. Something has to change. So yeah, I've been successful with doing that, and so by extension or by proxy, I am wanting to play more of the games that I already have bought in the past. I have an idea for what I want to play next. I've actually I finished Prime 4. It's a video game.
Did you have to say that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm planning on soon, like, making an unscripted video about the games that I played on Switch 2 last year.
Please make a joke about Logan Paul and Jake Paul.
I don't know what joke you would want me to do, and plus I would never mention them.
Prime.
Oh, just because the word Prime?
I mean, you had to clarify it was a video game, so of course I'm gonna run with it.
I don't know if there would ever be any moment in a video of mine where I would organically mention either of the Paul brothers.
That's true. As we said, don't force it.
Yeah. But I've actually gone back to the recent re-release of Mario Galaxy 1 because I beat... Like, I got the 120 stars as Mario, so now I'm doing that as Luigi. Completely finished with Galaxy 2. So after I do that, I think I'm gonna go back to my Steam Deck and continue the Zero Escape series with Virtue's Last Reward. Because I played through the Steam version of 999, 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors, around this time last year, actually. I meant to get to it sooner, but I played through Master Detective Archives Raincode, like the 2 months-ish before the Switch 2 came out. So, that didn't happen, so I was like, okay, I feel like now that things are kind of subsiding with that, I want to go back and, like, continue that series. At least, it's like, I want to play through that. I also want to do Zero Time Dilemma, which I've heard is very contentious for various reasons. It's almost like Danganronpa, in that sense. But basically, suffice it to say, I want to play more of the stuff that I already own. It's not to say that I'm completely depriving, quote-unquote, myself from buying completely new stuff. It's just, if it's a... if I'm buying something, it will be something that I want to play immediately or as soon as it releases if I'm pre-ordering it. Not just, buying it and putting it up on the metaphorical shelf and not touching it. Like,
yeah,
ever.
I see where you're coming with this.
So, that's kind of my goal for the year, is buying essentially as little new stuff as possible, and just playing what I already have. So, yeah,
I can see where this is going. For me, my goals are mostly just to finish up, like as you said before. Now, it doesn't help that one person in particular has gifted me The Witness, hence the intro that I made.
Yeah.
I officially now have the game The Witness.
Nice.
Because one of my friends said, like, hey, I was discussing with a friend of mine about this game, thought you might like it. And I'll be honest, of all people who, of all the people who, like, to send me a game, that person was the last person I was expecting.
Oh.
So when I first saw it, I was just like, excuse me? But also, oh no. Because I'm very aware of The Witness and its pretentiousness.
Yeah, and actually, now that you're mentioning it, is my Steam Deck in sleep mode? It's...
Did you just say now that you're mentioning it?
Yes.
Great job.
I think basically what I'm getting at is I think I also have
The Witness?
I thought I did, but it's The Witness. No, I must be thinking of some other game.
I mean, potentially, that could be something we could do together.
Wait, no, I do have The Witness. Then why is it not showing up in my Steam desktop list?
Not playable on Steam Deck?
No, it is playable on Steam Deck. It's not showing up in my actual laptop's Steam library.
Weird. I actually find it though. I think my goals are very similar to yours, where I'm just trying to finish up. Especially for those who are in the know, my current Let's Plays that I sorts abandoned when I made the announcement. Because for those wondering, I still have 6 episodes at most of Luxor Among Rising HD complete, which I'll confess has been a slog because the game itself has started to become unbearably difficult.
Oh.
Yeah, it has turned into one of those games, which I didn't like. And then in terms of the baseball season, for those in the know, I managed to get all the way to the final match. It's a best of 5 series in the at the end, and I haven't started it yet.
Oh.
So I still have that to record. And for those wondering, and I might as well make a quick announcement, I intend for all 3 matches, or 5, if I had to go that way, to be full-fledged videos. So it's not going to be a first half 3 innings, first second 3 innings. It will just be a full-fledged all of the 6 innings until the end, and we'll until I finish the game. So there's that. That's another one. Another thing I want to actually try to do is explore a bit more of like my own personal favorite games, because for those who may not know and who have not been looked at my Steam library for whatever reason, you might have noticed a few hidden object games. And yeah, I actually kind of grew up on those because of my mom. Again, another thing that my mom I got from my mom. And because they were so cheap, I bought those games, but I never actually played them yet.
Mm-hmm.
And well, honestly, with a better mouse, which you're wondering is the Logitech, I do want to finally dive into those games as proper Let's Plays rather than just like my own personal enjoyment. Because to be honest, they are so enjoyable to the point that honestly, if I were to make it a Let's Play, it wouldn't be too bad.
Mm-hmm.
And
nice.
Because of how much experience I have, because of my mom helping me out, I now can really play hidden object games with timers. When last time I couldn't.
Oh, nice. It makes, for whatever reason, made me think of Where's Waldo, because it's kind of like a hidden object game, except you're only looking for one object. And that also made me think of how the fact that the existence of Where's Waldo audiobooks, they exist.
I'm just nodding my head. I am just nodding my head.
Yeah, I think the idea is that you just keep listening, and then when you hear Waldo, you just pause it, and you win.
It's a nice idea, and I guess for the blind, it would kind of make sense.
It
but at
technically
the same time,
makes it accessible.
But at the same time, I think we both have the same one-word question on our minds when we think of it. 3, 2, 1. Why?
Why?
See?
Yeah. Yeah. If anything, that would make for like speaking of competitions, just a fascinating competition of sit like two people in the same room with the Where's Waldo audiobook, and when they say Waldo, whoever hits a button first wins. And so you're just waiting for like 40 minutes just for the person to say Waldo, and you just see the people slowly going insane. I don't know,
please make this competition a short highlight, please. Please. That would be absolutely hysterical.
I can just imagine, like, one of the people trying to fake the other one out just by saying Waldo, and seeing them flinch. It's like, no, that was you, it wasn't the audio, you jerk.
Oh my goodness.
I think you're laughing so much that my, like, feed of your audio, it's like cutting out.
Oh my goodness. Waldo. Anyways.
It's like Samurai Kirby, except you have to wait like 40 minutes before you hit the button.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was just like, oh my goodness, I actually have tears in my eyes.
Yeah. Anyways.
More than just all of that, though, it's just, I guess also maybe to an extent not purchasing games when I haven't finished. Because I do have some games I did want to go through, and especially those which I did want to do as Let's Plays. But even then, as I slowly finish up the year, maybe you might see the revival of this channel.
Yeah.
You'll never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, now that we calmed down from that,
yeah, I guess just like quick like related thing is that I'm really wanting to just like upload more stuff to YouTube this year than I have the previous 2 years. And thankfully it's like I've had just enough ideas kind of rattling around in my head that it's not going to be like difficult coming up with the ideas themselves. It's just trying to find the time and then not pushing myself to do a video if, like, I, yeah, just kind of not forcing it, but still putting some more stuff out this year. Because in 2022 and 2023, I put out, like, that was probably the most consistent that I was with putting out content. It's just 2024, there was enough, like, things that, like, changed, mostly in terms of, like, going from part-time to more, like, closer to full-time work that kind of, made me, like, have to shift focus for a while, and now it's like, okay, let's maybe actually try to put some more of a focus on content again, which is kind of funny, like a contrast from what you're doing of, like, taking a extended break or hiatus, or just not doing nearly as much stuff.
Yeah, just taking a step back and, like, allowing myself to enjoy not only my leisure, but also my work as well, which I'll just give a quick update and say I've been really enjoying my work as of recently, and it has allowed me to be better when it comes to teaching.
Nice.
And, okay,
Nice.
What I'm about to say, honestly, this goes out to all the teachers out there. Don't always make your lessons always just about the subject you teach. You guys are also human beings, just as I am. And we have our own ways of, like, allowing students to like, allocate character, to allocate humanity within themselves. I feel like when I teach, I want to be able to make a difference. And therefore, honestly, I remember yesterday's lesson when I made, like, when I was even relating gaming to mathematics, I all the more kind of relate to the gaming, like, what they have learned, to also character building. Allowing my students to realize, you know what, I want to be a better human being, so therefore I should do this and that. And going back to what we were talking about with open world and, you know, difference of opinion that has been mixed negatively with pride, I want my students to also be gaming literates as well. Not to say they must play every single game they see, but rather, like, enjoy the idea of being curious of other people and what they play, so that when they grow up, right, they won't have a sense of, like, personal pride saying that I think that my games are better.
Right.
Character building is not always just about the common this or that when it comes to, like, society, but I feel like it also plays the same true when it comes to discussion of leisure stuff like gaming or sports to an extent as well, of course. But the reason why I emphasize gaming is that, unlike sports, I feel like gaming has been pushed to the wayside in terms of being human and being a proper human being, which is why I wanted to emphasize this. But yeah. That's just my monologue, and then honestly, if any teachers listening out there, I hope you do the same. In one way or another. Alright, so with that out of the way, it's time we move on to... it looks as though you want to say something.
Yeah, well, I'm just kind of ready to, like, actually get to the topic that we're trying to get to.
Which is our prediction... predictions for 2026. What are your... I'm going to start first, actually, in this case, since I did allow you to go first earlier with the goals.
Sure. Yeah.
My 3 franchises, if I remember correctly, I hope I have them on my phone, otherwise they might be on my iPad. Let me have a look-see. Because I did remember writing this down somewhere. And it may not be in here. Oh, crap. Yeah, it's on my iPad. Hang on. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Just scribble down how you want.
I didn't quite hear what he said, but yeah, I didn't really have any, like, concrete ideas for these, like, literally until yesterday. It's like, okay, let's actually think about this. And it's like, okay. Yeah, I feel like at least one of these, like, for sure franchises, it will for sure like come out this year, even though it's like kind of more like boring like first party Nintendo stuff, but it's like that's kind of what I know the best and what I feel like is coming. You just hear Joelle humming. The yes?
You know, as I have my iPad with me, I just realized something funny.
Yeah?
I had a checklist right here that actually had like completion of like all the episodes I wanted to make. Like you guys can see
wow.
at the Backyard Baseball, all this. And guess what? I never went back to it.
Oh.
Shows how much I was trying to ensure I got these things done. I still have my Bejeweled Podcast notes for those wondering, so if anything, I still can refer back to them whenever I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yeah, that means I'm looking at my iPad. That means I must have had it on my laptop trapped.
Okay.
Also,
you just got like very loud for.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. No, because of the clicking of the iPad, the stand.
Just your voice in general feels like a little louder than it.
Whoops.
Than it has been for like the rest of the podcast.
My bad.
Okay, that sounds a little better, or a little.
Okay.
It sounds better.
For me, though, I know one of the games I mentioned, and that was I'm predicting Mario to finally have another like 2D/3D game, especially 3D, because I feel like ever since Odyssey, the only 3D games we've kind of been that are sort of related to Mario that we've seen is Donkey Kong Bonanza. We have not seen like the Fable Galaxy 3. We haven't seen any other like 2D game besides Wonder come out. Yes, I know there's the Nintendo Switch 2 version, but that doesn't count.
Right. Yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza is very good. I really liked it. That's mostly because it shares so much DNA with Odyssey. So it's like, yeah, I mean, that's like the first thing that I had on my list is a new 3D Mario. It's like, I want to see them do something like completely new with 3D Mario, or something like a Galaxy 3, which, given the fact that like the Mario Galaxy movie comes out this year, it's like that's kind of the obvious train of thought. It's like, oh, they're gonna do a Galaxy 3. I feel like maybe there'll be Galaxy type elements in whatever like the new 3D Mario is gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a full-on Galaxy 3. I would like to be proven wrong because Galaxy is very fun, and I feel like it could be expanded upon even more with the hardware of the Switch 2. Just in terms of like game scope and mechanics. Yeah. And that's also, yeah, I was like, some of my thought was kind of thwarted of like, oh yeah, Switch 2 editions, those really aren't full releases. Technically they are, because the full game plus the Switch 2 upgrade pack gets like released as a full game card, but like if it was a game that was already out beforehand, it's like, no, it's not quite the same. Like in the case of Mario Wonder, that came out in 2023.
Apologies that I was leaving again because I just realized, and I now feel like a dork, where I store my opinions with.
Oh?
I put them in my Discord.
Oh.
I messaged them. I now remembered I messaged them to my friend because I wanted to like at least have somewhere I can like just quickly reference straight away. And I totally forgot about it until just now. But yeah, now I have my 3 games.
That's why I don't always use this. I have a Discord server that I just made and never invited anyone to, so it's just for
note-taking.
Like, note-taking and specific things, even though most of my note-taking, like for the podcast and for videos that I do, is actually in Google Keep, but it's beside the point.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
My second game franchise I hope to see a main game for genre game from, Uncharted. Who's the person in particular? Like, wait, who's the main protagonist in Uncharted? I forgot already.
Nathan Drake?
Thank you. Nathan Drake has been one character that's it's quite strong affinity to. I feel like, especially when you have an adventure sort of game. But I'll be honest, it's been a while, and I feel like it's his time to finally present a brand new one. If anything, maybe potentially Uncharted 5. So it would be nice, considering that we haven't seen that kind of game in so long. And I feel like there's so many other open world games like It Takes Two, Little Nightmares, etc., that have kind of taken over.
Yeah.
And let's not to mention Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, the finale.
Oh.
It's coming out this year.
Okay.
So that's why I feel like for Uncharted, it's overdue. They need to have a game back after so many years. Or months, I should say.
Sorry to the YouTube listeners. I didn't turn off my notification, so you heard a Windows notification. Whoops.
Last one for me is, and I think you're gonna like this one, Splatoon.
Yeah, I mean, the first Splatoon spin-off game, Splatoon Raiders, was announced to be coming out this year. But are you talking like a fully, like a Splatoon 4?
Yes. Well, actually, then again, you say Splatoon Raiders, you say spin-off, is it still shooting?
Yeah, it seems to, I don't know if this is confirmed or not. It looks to be like a single-player spin-off, still with all just the same Splatoon mechanics, but it seems like they're taking just the idea of the single-player campaigns that the Splatoon games have had and expanding on that in a dedicated, like, single-player experience.
So, I mean, I you know what? I guess that is considered that allowed, since it is a main genre game after all.
Yeah.
Then you know what? I'll change it to Assassin's Creed then. Like, that was actually one I was looking at. I was like, wait a second, we haven't seen like one in a while. And for crying out loud, where's 5?
Yeah, I mean,
look at all of the different names, and all of a sudden, like, there's no Assassin's Creed 5. I'm like, guys, where's our 5?
Yeah. I say that like I know exactly what's going on with Assassin's Creed. I don't.
Oh, no, 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, 3, 4. That was the order of the first 6 games. But ever since Assassin's Creed 4, every single Assassin's Creed game afterwards has always had a name rather than a number.
Okay.
So that's why I say, where's 5?
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, those are my 3 game franchises. I believe I'll see a main genre game being released in this year. Now, I know one of them has already been spoiled by you, being a 3D Mario game, but what are your other 2, Jowzak?
So, I guess after thinking about this, I don't know if this would technically be considered a main genre game, but I was just thinking of the pattern of Zelda games that were released on Switch. Like, we got Breath of the Wild, which is completely original, and then the Link's Awakening remake and Skyward Sword port. Then we got Tears of the Kingdom, with sequel game, but still like an original game. And then Echoes of Wisdom, again, completely original Zelda game. I feel like if not this year, for sure next year, we're gonna get some kind of new Zelda port or remake. Which, yeah, it's not a completely new game, but looking at the pattern of that feels almost inevitable. And there's rumors of like a Ocarina of Time remake coming to Switch and or Switch 2, which is like, okay, there was already one for 3DS, so that would feel strange.
Excessive?
Yeah, and especially when it's like, they already have the original Ocarina of Time on Switch Online, so technically you can already play it. Technically you can already play it on Switch, but like, I don't know, sometimes Nintendo just does weird crap like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know it's not like a completely new game, but like considering the pattern, I feel like it's inevitable.
Yeah, I can see where this is going.
Yeah. And for my third game of for this section, yeah, sure, like, we did get a Switch 2 edition of this game last year that was already out, but the game originally came out, or the most recent game in this series, not counting the Switch 2 edition, came out in 2024, and this series has a little bit more of a quicker turnaround time compared to a lot of other series. Mario Party.
Oh.
Yeah, sure, we got the Switch 2 edition of Jamboree last year, but if anything, that was just a mini-game pack. Once you kind of boil it down, it was basically just a mini-game pack. So, I feel like, again, if not this year, for sure next year, we'll get a Switch 2 exclusive Mario Party.
Mario Party 11?
Yeah, either that or they just continue with the Super Mario Party line, because like they did that with Jamboree.
Nintendo, please don't. It's really ruining my OCD. I'm sorry, but the fact that there's no 11 on was like, dude, Mega Man did it. Why not Mario Party?
Yeah, it's yeah, for whatever reason, they chose the branding of Super Mario Party for the first one that was released on Switch, and it's like, I can kind of maybe see why, because it was the first time in forever that that was the closest return to form that we had seen for the Mario Party series.
Sorry, I had to.
Yeah, and I mean, then there was the Mario Party Superstars, which was just a remake of old content. So it's like, yeah, that was the closest return to form that we had seen, but then Jamboree was the closest return to form that we had of a completely new Mario Party game. Sure, with like returning, like a couple returning boards, some returning mini games. If anything, that feels like the best way to go about things is essentially taking a page out of Mario Kart with like, yeah, sure, like most of the content being new, but then, you know, remaking some of the old stuff, that's fine. And yeah, it seems like with the Switch 2 edition of Jamboree, it kind of feels like they maybe have already spoiled some of just the ideas of like mouse mode mini games and whatever, but they could probably just pull more ideas out of thin air or whatever. It feels like at this point, what I think it's Nintendo Cube now is what they're called. It's not ND Cube anymore. it feels like, especially now with Jamboree, they're starting to really, like, come up with, like, new good ideas for, like, new Mario Party, like, boards and board mechanics. Excuse me. I really, really like the Rainbow Galleria, the shopping mall board in Jamboree. Just a board that is completely revolves around shopping. And plus, like, if you time it to where you buy items during, like, certain turns where everything is, like, half price, and I think even the stars are half price. Like, there is a lot of strategy with that board, and it's like with every Mario Party, there's, like, one board that I routinely like to go back to. That is the one in Jamboree that whenever I boot up Jamboree, it is the one that I like to play. So,
well, there you go.
Anyways. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Now for the 2 games that you want to see see a surprise like game release, regardless of what it is. What's your 2?
So, Luigi's Mansion.
4? I mean,
yeah.
That will be hype. That would be hype.
Yeah, I feel like especially with, like, what they did with 3 on the power level of the original Switch, I feel like they're just gonna have a heyday with all, like, the extra capabilities of the Switch 2 of, like, graphical fidelity and, I especially like to, like, I'm thinking of the, just the physics of being able to use the vacuum to clear out shelves of just random crap.
Wait.
In the single player mode.
Pause. When did Luigi's Mansion 1 come out?
Like, when it very originally came out, like, on the GameCube?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the date. Was it 2003?
No, it was like a launch title.
Yeah, I'm aware, but I just don't remember when it was launched. Sorry.
Let's see. Release. First came out in Japan September 14th, 2001.
Crying out loud, is it really 25 years old?
Yes.
I feel
so,
old.
Yeah, technically it is gonna be the 25th anniversary of Luigi's Mansion.
What in the actual poltergeist?
Yeah. It's kind of funny because it came out on my 2nd birthday in Japan.
Wow. That is insane. Yeah. Wow, actually that prediction may end up standing, to be honest. There has to be, or at least some mention. My only problem, they already ported Luigi's Mansion 1 to multiple devices. They already ported Luigi's Mansion 2 to Switch. So, yeah, I think your point, if they don't do anything for their 25th anniversary this year, that would be a stunner.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially considering, like, how well Luigi's Mansion 3 sold, like, it was kind of a sleeper hit. Not a lot of people really talk about it, but Luigi's Mansion 3 sold a lot, so, like, they're gonna make a 4th game. I would like for it to come out this year.
Why did I put my brain thinking Luigi's Mansion 3 was a launch title for the Switch? It's not.
No, they came out 2019.
Yeah, I don't know why my mind went to it was a launch title.
Yeah, I mean, that whole era feels like eons ago, so I don't blame you.
Yep. Alright, so what? Okay.
And, sorry, the, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, I believe, came out 2024.
I remember it was that far back, yeah.
Yeah. I had to double check because I went back to that game last year to finish up completion in the Scarescraper. So it's like, it didn't come out last year, did it? No, it came out 24.
See our reaction up here.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, not out of the realm of possibility that they do that, because it was 2018 where the 3DS remake of Luigi's Mansion 1 came out, and it was a year later that Luigi's Mansion 3 came out. So, and plus, last year is when Luigi's Mansion 1 came out on GameCube Nintendo Classics for the Switch 2. So,
well, there you go.
Yeah. So, it is kind of, fun, knowing that the whole Luigi's Mansion series is playable on Switch 2. Although, the original Luigi's Mansion is only on the Switch 2, so it's like, yeah.
Yeah. I see where you're going with this. What is your second game?
So,
Well, in this case, as I put it, wildcard franchise.
yeah. So, this the second series, this series has a counterpart series, or just a series that is like associated with this one that I have listed. That other series had trilogy remake done on like the PS4, Xbox One, Switch generation, and then had a completely new game released in like the classic gameplay, but like evolved. That was Crash Bandicoot. I feel like Spyro the Dragon is due for a completely new game in its similar classic original style, but with the capabilities of modern hardware. Because Spyro the Dragon had a similar retro trilogy remake, but it has not gotten a completely like new modern entry or take on that classic formula and structure. So
No, I see where you're coming with this, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like Crash Bandicoot had the Insane trilogy, and then sometime later got Crash Bandicoot 4, which is kind of funny because it already had a fourth entry, but they're just conveniently ignoring that, which is funny. And so I feel like Spyro is more than due a similar treatment.
Those are some very... Oh.
Yep, so it feels like it should have happened years ago, but it just hasn't, and I feel like with each coming year, it's just more and more inevitable.
I see. Those are some pretty good arguments for those games, honestly, and I definitely agree with them to a very strong extent. For me, I kind of went a bit simpler, man, because the two games I picked, the two wildcard franchises I picked, man, have something to do with the word man.
Yeah?
The very first one, Mega Man. 11 came out quite some time ago, and ever since then, I mean, people have been going wild with like ROM hacks, showcases, people being creative basically with the power-ups from like the old retro games and making their own Mega Man levels. What I really want to see though is just a new Mega Man game. I mean, granted, I don't play Mega Man myself, but it would be amazing to see another one. I mean, at least give us something to buy our T-Bin 2 and like show that they haven't stopped. Because honestly, it just feels as though it's being a bit stagnant as of now.
Yeah. Sorry, I pulled up the page. page for Mega Man 11 and I see that there's a demo, I will download that. Yeah.
That was that? Okay, no,
Anyways.
it's a demo. It won't count.
It's a demo. It's free.
It won't count. It won't count. But yeah, come on, just give us 12 already. Or if anything, maybe for this year, some spin-off or like collection, considering we're nearing the 40th anniversary of Mega Man.
40th, jeez.
1987, December 17th, Jalzak.
Yeah, I suppose that's not like too crazy because Mario is having his 40th anniversary, so it's like that's not really like shouldn't be surprising. I don't know why I was
you know that Mario
surprised about that.
You know that Mario 64 is 30 years old, right?
Yeah.
And the other one to mention, and honestly, ever since I made the compilation video talking about the games of the first 20 years of this franchise, and knowing that, you know, it's been so long since we had a proper story in Mega Man. I mean, in this game, sorry. I feel like it's also due. Bomberman. I honestly miss the concept of having a story-driven Bomberman game that I can sink my teeth into. Like, for those who didn't know, like I got into Bomberman because my parents just happened to buy a Japanese Bomberman game that I didn't understand at the time, but now I do.
Oh, nice.
And honestly, even though it was only one game, I still quite liked the series and the idea behind Bomberman, and I'm so sad that it hasn't had much limelight ever since R.
Yeah, did that come out like I know it was a launch title for the Switch. I just don't know, was it already out, or was that when it released, like, even on other platforms?
You gotta remember that it was a Super Bomberman R2 later on, Jalzak. So that's the game you should be referencing in this case, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Super.
But even then,
guess
it's been a while. I definitely want to see a new Bomberman game that at least has a story, because I miss those.
Mm-hmm.
And if anything, if not, just port all of the Bomberman games, the Japanese ones, into the online, please.
Yeah.
Although if they do that, I think everyone's going to be angry because there's like 5 Super Bomberman games for the SNES.
Oh. Yeah, I forgot that Super Bomberman R2 existed. Released back in 2023, so... Yeah,
Yeah, but it's just a story-driven.
Didn't quite remember that.
Yeah, but even then, in terms of story-driven, not much, which is why I kind of want to see one this year.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, now for the big one. The one out-of-nowhere game prediction for 2026. You want to start or I start?
I'm fine with either.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Sure.
I will see. Don't worry, I will be fair this one. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Nope. So my scissors. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, good. You go first.
Okay. So the company that would be, making this game is hopefully still going to be releasing new hardware this year. Which I guess maybe doesn't entirely narrow it down, considering that there's like already talks of like new like a PS6 and maybe a new Xbox.
Yeah.
But I know this isn't gonna happen. This is more so just I want this to happen.
I mean, I said it. It's out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Portal 3.
Oh.
Valve is releasing a new Steam machine and new Steam controller. If anything, it would be cool. Granted, this could, like, alienate a lot of people if they don't buy the new hardware or even just the new controller, because I do want to get the Steam controller because it's essentially mimics all the inputs of the Steam Deck, but, like, I like to use the Steam Deck docked sometimes, and so, like, when you do that, you don't have, like, the touchpads and such. It would be cool to see, like, Portal 3, like, take advantage of the inputs of, like, the Steam Deck or the new Steam controller, and, like, use all of that to, like, their fullest extent. At the very least, maybe, like, a side campaign that, like, utilizes that. Otherwise, like, yeah, have a campaign that can just use a traditional controller or, like, keyboard and mouse. That's fine. Yeah, again, like, sure, it's a meme that Valve doesn't know how to count to 3. But considering the fact that they are revitalizing the idea, the concept of both the Steam machine and the Steam controller, which were both kind of failed concepts, or just not as widely adopted concepts, who's to say that maybe they're haven't evolved internally to some degree to where maybe they finally can put 1 and 2 together.
I think what will be scary, in my opinion, and adding on to what you mentioned, is if they are going to be doing something very similar to Poppy Playtime, where the new gun, the portal gun, shoots portals that do different effects rather than just, going back and forth. My one question, though, is, do you know what I mean when I say very similar to Poppy Playtime?
I mean, I know of Poppy Playtime, but I don't know, like, the specific mechanics that you're talking about.
Every single Poppy Playtime game, they introduce a brand new hand that has a different effect, basically.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying with Portal 3, it is some sort of new portal gun that shoots portals that do a different effect, like shoot you forward or something like that. That would be crazy to see.
Yeah, maybe, like, I don't know, kinds of portals where, like, you shoot it, and when you go through it, wherever you end up, like, time is, like, slowed down or sped up, and, like, you have to
time it, yeah.
Yeah, or figure out, like, a combination of, or positioning of them to, like, navigate certain obstacles, or it makes, things, easier or whatever. I don't know, that was just a random thought that I had.
No, it's good.
Relating kind of to what, like, you thought.
No, it's good, it's good. That's why I liked it. I like it.
Yeah. Also, like, maybe they could, like, take a page out of, like, the Metroid Prime games, where a certain, like, portal type, you go through it, and it's almost like switching to, like the thermal visor, where you can see things that would have otherwise been, like, invisible to just the naked eye, or things like that. Now that I've mentioned that, I'm pretty sure that a Portal fan mod that I played at one point kinda did something similar to that. Portal Reloaded.
Oh.
That's what it was.
Mm.
It was... I'm pretty sure it was doing things similar to that, so... And I guess, like, with how long it's been since Portal 2, and how many fan mods there have been for the Portal games, like, it would kind of be inevitable that maybe at some point Valve would end up, whether intentionally or not, like, copying mechanics from, like, fan mods. And maybe that's also why they just haven't done a Portal 3, is because, like, they set up the framework for, like, Portal 2, like, custom levels. And so, like, they don't have to do any more work. Let the fans do it.
It really is just up to Valve whether they perceive it as Portal 2.5 or Portal 3 then.
Yeah. But, like, also in that sense, it's almost like how, with the existence of Mario Maker, for a while, it's like, do we even really need, like, Nintendo-made Mario anymore? And it's like, yeah, no, there's things that Nintendo themselves can do that the average person can't do with the tools within Mario Maker. Didn't
they stop that though recently? Or is that am I perceiving that wrongly? I thought they stopped allowing people to share levels or something, or make new levels.
In Mario Maker?
Yeah, I thought that was the case.
No, you can still do that in Mario Maker 2. Original Mario Maker... In Mario Maker, like the original one on Wii U, that functionality went away when online multiplayer went away for the Wii U and 3DS.
Okay. So yeah, that means I was mistaken then. Okay.
So, yeah, it's still a thing on Mario Maker 2 on Switch. And, funnily enough, for as much flack that Mario Maker 3DS got, you can still share levels in that version because it was done via Street Pass and local wireless sharing. So if anything, that game's sharing functionality still is intact, which is very funny.
Huh. Well, that's quite interesting, evidently. Alright. Now for my prediction. Now, I'll be honest, I kind of went a bit safe with this one, but considering the circumstances I'm looking around me, especially as I was hanging out with my Discord mates, Randy, Hutaru, and Kantha, in our Classic Gaming Grand Prix Discord, whenever I look at Kirby Air Riders, it really is a masterpiece, and I feel like the people involved with that game have done a great job with making it fun, making it accessible, let alone making it nostalgic. For something that was so niche at the time on the GameCube, if I'm not mistaken, the fact that this game came back afterwards, it's like, wow, it's fantastic to see. However, because of what I'm seeing and knowing about the history of gaming in the last decade, I've made this particular prediction. Because of the prevalence and honestly the success of Kirby Air Riders, I am expecting zero mention of Smash Brothers in 2026.
Yeah, I was actually about to, like, put Smash Brothers on my list, but was like, wait, no. Sakurai just got done with Air Riders.
Yeah, and
it's not going to happen this year unless that's been secretly given to a completely different team.
Exactly. There's
the only
doubt
way
that Sakurai has really dedicated his time more to Kirby now that he's finally pulled away the one project that has kind of enveloped his life for most of the time. And honestly, now that I think about it further, it's kind of... Okay, is it wrong to say sad?
I mean, he got to bring back Kid Icarus as a treat, but outside of that, yeah, kind of. Having to work on the same game series for decades,
I mean, granted,
that's got to... Sorry. That's got to get to anyone eventually. So if anything, I feel like whenever a new Smash Brothers is going to start development, he might take more of just like a managerial
backseat,
or just like counselor type position, but otherwise like not having too much if any, involvement in like the actual design and programming of the game. He might just be like a supervisor or manager type thing, but yeah, especially with how he just finished with Air Riders, like, yeah, like, we're not getting a new Smash Brothers this year, which I'm fine with because of reasons I talked about earlier.
Yeah, but not only that, I'm kind of expecting DLC to an extent as well for Kirby Air Riders. Now, granted, I know there is the craft creator, which allows people to be very creative with their the designs, which I've seen, by the way. They are honestly quite cute. But to be honest, I'm very expecting to see different stages, potentially returning stages from the original Kirby Air Riders, making their appearance in due time. That's my prediction to an extent as well.
So, not to like burst your bubble, but Sakurai did say in the last Air Riders Direct that they're not planning on any sort of DLC for Air Riders. Well, to the point where like if the development team hasn't already disbanded, they've already disbanded. They may still be like on call just in case they need to do like critical like bug fixes or whatever, but that was a big thing that like people were talking about, is like, wow, this is such like a rarity in this day and age, like a game that releases fully complete that we're not going to be expecting any sort of DLC for at all. It's like, this is what we get. This is a breath of fresh air. So, yeah.
Thanks. By the way, just saying. Thanks for potentially bringing up the topic for podcast number 38.
Yeah.
Because honestly, yeah, I never really realized that to an extent. I mean, maybe we've discussed this before, but it's okay to return if we could. The idea that, a completed game might end up being just better compared to a game with DLC. You know what? Now that I think about it, especially with the Legends DA situation. Not say situation, but the scenario. Considering that they did announce DLC pretty much straight away after they said about the main game.
Yeah, wasn't it that they announced DLC before the base game even released? I thought that was the situation.
Yeah, no. Yes. That's why. We could discuss that another day, honestly. It now be some discussion, to say the least, considering the different situations that people have been to because of the way DLC was presented. And of course, the differing opinions. But that's just life.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I mean, these must have been some pretty interesting predictions. We'll definitely go back to these near the end of the year.
Yeah, if anything, I could see them doing like a Switch 2 edition of Smash Ultimate that either that or just like a free update that makes the game like run at 4K docked. It would be wild to see it run at 120 FPS. Because the Switch 2 is capable of that.
Motion sickness incoming.
I don't know if that really causes motion sickness.
Okay, no, I was kidding. I kind of associate to different graphic, like there are different graphic settings to being like causing motion sickness sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyways, that is going to be it for today's podcast, which has been a long one, but honestly a pretty fruitful one. IMO.
Yeah.
Oh, But definitely, I mean, it's good to discuss like the idea. Like, it's great to see how. Thanks for the scare, Meow Bear. Well, thank you to the follow. Welcome to the Journal Army. Hope you enjoy your stay at the end of the podcast. But anyways, it's great to discuss about like open world games and realizing the reasons for the unfortunate discord that we are seeing nowadays and even back then. And of course, it'll be interesting to see whether our 2026 goals and predictions hold up at the end of the year.
Yeah, I feel like this year has a lot of potential. And in some degree it has to, specifically for the Switch 2, because it's like, okay, we kind of need more like actually compelling first party Nintendo exclusives.
Yep.
As much as like I personally I'm not the person that I was where like I really only ever played first party Nintendo stuff for years. Like I play that and also third party and indie stuff, but it's like you just released a new system. You need to get your more of your own exclusives out, Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So
alright.
Yeah.
And so ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be it. See you guys next time.
Bye.